Hi guys, I'm Broken Bexxy and I'm just a girl with a broken body who wants to make a positive difference in other people's lives while trying to live the best version of my life I possibly can. Today I wanted to talk about the things that have changed in my life, or how I have changed since becoming chronically ill. So about 8 or 9 years ago, I started experiencing some symptoms. They've gotten a lot worse over the years. I've got more and more ill. I've gotten diagnoses, and so I've had to learn to adapt my life in all sorts of ways to accommodate those illnesses. But I've also had to change my way of thinking a lot. I know that when I was younger, before I had any experience with chronic illness, I would not have had a clue what a chronic illness was, what it meant, or anything like that. And it wasn't something that you ever heard about. No one really talked about it. No one, especially if they didn't have it, it wasn't like a topic. But even if they did have it, it wasn't really something that they spoke about. I guess it was more, I don't know whether I was just sheltered, which probably, but I don't know whether it's starting to be talked about more, or whether I've just found more groups that are talking about it more, or what, but I had no idea. And I'm ashamed to say that, like, I thought that to be disabled you had to have something visibly going on, kind of thing. Like they had to be in a wheelchair because of whatever illness they had, or it was more of a visual thing. I had no idea that you can be incredibly ill and still look like a normal human being, I guess. Like, it's not the right terminology or anything, and I can't think of better wording right now, and I do apologize. I don't want to offend anyone, because trust me, like, I do understand. I'm just struggling with words right now. But basically, if you could see it, kind of thing, I knew that they had disabilities or whatever it may be, and that was such a naive way of thinking, and I can't believe I went for so long holding on to that belief or way of thinking, because now it's just, you could walk past thousands of people a day who are chronically ill or have disabilities in some way, shape or form, and you wouldn't know, because they look the same as able-bodied people who don't have these illnesses or disabilities or whatever it may be. And that's another thing that I realized, is that chronically ill people are extremely strong and so good at making it seem like everything is okay, even though their entire bodies are on some sort of breakdown. And it kind of reminds me of like that meme where the dog is like sitting in this room and it's all in flames and he's like, this is fine. That's basically what our lives are like every single day. Like, our bodies are on fire and everything's going to absolute, I don't want to swear, but I can't think of another word, so going to hell. And we're just like, this is fine. this is life. I'm just going to keep getting on with my day. And on the outside, it looks like everything is fine and everything is okay and that they're just getting along with their day. But inside, they're burning. They're going up in flames, and there's not really anything they can do about it, so they just keep on going. It's made me more aware of how diverse the disabled community and the chronically ill community is, and how huge it is, and that not many people know how many people there actually are that are affected like that, and how hard it is to actually get help. And like in Australia, I know that it is incredibly hard to get any assistance from the government when you are chronically ill and you are unable to work or have an income or anything like that. It's extremely hard to actually prove your disabilities for them to go, okay, well, we're going to help you out, because you can't. You are physically not able to, and mentally able to, provide for yourself and contribute to society. So we will help you out. And I know people that have been trying for years to get on it, and then it's not really anything that is enough to sustain themselves on, and all of that. Another thing that I've learned is that medications are so freaking expensive. Once they all add up, it is so expensive. Like, I know that I'm not even on as many medications as I probably could be, or as many medications as what other people are on. And I struggle to afford these medications. And sometimes it's like, well, which ones can I go without? Because I cannot afford hundreds of dollars a fortnight on just medications alone, so that I am able to go and work. And even then, it's a bit iffy if I can actually work or not. But they're so expensive. And they're things you need. And anything medical related, if you need to get a brace, they're like $40 to $60 for a decent one. For like one. And then if you've got problems all over and you need support in those areas, you're going to need more than just one. And heat packs and the gels and the, like, everything. It's so expensive, and it all adds up, and it's all stuff you need. But if you're in so much pain that you're needing them and you can't work, or you can't work much, how are we supposed to afford it? How are we supposed to live and have a quality of life if we can't afford, if we're too sick to work, or we're in too much pain to work? But to try and get to a place where we can work, we need to spend all this money on medications and medical equipment that takes all our money. Another thing that I've learned is to be so much more understanding. I have always considered myself as a very understanding and open-minded and caring person, and all of my friends and family consider that a personality trait of mine that they admire as well. I feel weird talking myself up, but I'm proud of that trait. But being chronically ill has made me so much more of those things, where just because you can't see that something's going wrong, and it's the same with mental illness, which is a chronic illness, but there's so much for each of those areas that they do need to be separated in ways, but mental illness is a chronic illness as well. That's the way I see it. I don't know. Other people might not see it that way. This is just all my thoughts. It's not saying that this is everybody's thoughts. This is just my own. But I do know that it has made me so much more understanding. If somebody says they're struggling, I know that generally they're struggling more than what they let on. People don't want people to know how bad they're doing. We don't. No one ever wants to let other people know how badly they're doing. So when somebody admits that they're struggling, I can almost guarantee 9 times out of 10 they're struggling a lot more than what they are letting on. And I know this to be particularly true for people who are chronically ill or mentally ill, because, like I said in another video, if you're saying that you're struggling when you're struggling, you're going to be saying it all the time. And it's going to come down to a case of not being believed, or even though a lot of the times we don't get believed about things and it's like, oh, it can't be that bad, or whatever it may be. It's and I have no idea what I was saying. Yeah, if they just said it every time that they were struggling, it would be hard to believe, or it would be, people would get sick of hearing it. As much as they want to support somebody, there's not a lot that they can do. When they hear that, they can be a listening ear and offer a shoulder to cry on and all of that, but when it's chronic illness and stuff like that, there's only so much that they can do, and you're coming to them with a problem that they can't fix, but their instincts are to fix that problem. And if it's constantly coming up, they're like, I don't know how to handle this situation, and they're going to panic and not know what to do, and then worry that's not worry, but feel guilt that there's nothing that they can do about it. And
my brain is really not working today. I keep having it like on the tip of my tongue, and then I go to say it, and it disappears, and it's frustrating me.
I guess one thing is that it's taught me to appreciate things a lot more. So when I'm able to do stuff with my friends or my family, and it's something that I haven't been able to do, I appreciate it so much more. And it makes that experience so incredible, because it has so much meaning behind it, more than what it would. So my housemates and I, we used to play cards all the time, and that we'd all have drinks and we'd play cards and we'd have a great night, or board games or whatever. Might sound lame, but we have so much fun with it. And the sicker I got, the harder I found it. One, I couldn't drink anymore, and two, it was more and more difficult for me to be sitting in a chair for prolonged periods of time, especially when I was so exhausted from putting all of my energy into work that week. All I could do was pretty much be bedridden for the weekend so that I could try and do work the following week. So any spare moment I did have, I wanted to be in bed, or I needed to be in bed. And I'd play games with them for another 10-15 minutes, and then I'd come back in. So like when I'm having a good day or a good night, and I can sit out there for a couple of hours playing cards and having a good time and having laughs and all of that, it's really special because it's something that we don't get to do all the time anymore, and it's something that we all enjoy, and we really like that we got to spend quality time together. And yeah, it's just something special, and I know to appreciate it so much more because I'm able to stay out there for so long and I'm able to enjoy myself, and then I can come to my bed when I'm feeling like I need it. But little things like that, I hadn't been out clubbing in a good couple of years because one, I don't drink anymore, and two, I didn't have the energy to do anything like that. And my niece turned 18 recently, and in Australia, 18 is the legal drinking age, and so we had drinks with her, or they had, like my friends and my brother had drinks with her, and I was hanging out with them. I wasn't drinking, I was having soft drink, and that was enough to get me sugar high. And we went out and I danced and I went clubbing, and I only stayed out for like an hour, but it was something I hadn't done in years. But it was also something that, because my niece is close in age to us, we were always excited for, like, when she turned 18, all the aunts and uncles would take her out clubbing, and it would just be an awesome night. And we were all so excited, especially my niece as well. And certain things happened, and it only ended up being me and my brother taking her out. And it was an incredible night, and I enjoyed it so much. And I was so appreciative of the fact that I was able to actually do that. I was able to go out and have fun and dance and do something really special. Like, as stupid as it sounds, like going out clubbing and stuff like that, but it was great to spend time with my niece and do something that will be a good memory for her for years to come. And yeah, the gist of that whole thing was that I am appreciative of the things that I'm able to do, and I've come to understand that a lot better, that there's good and there's bad, and it's not about just like resigning yourself to suffering constantly. It's to learn to appreciate the good times so much more because they're more fleeting. And probably the last thing that I can think of to talk about right now is that my entire life, my number one goal was I wanted to make a positive difference in other people's lives. Now, I also knew from the age of 7, so when my niece was born, that I wanted to work with children, and I thought those two goals met up really, really well. And it was, what better way to make a positive difference in other people's lives than working with the future generation and all of that sort of stuff. And it's one thing that I'm really good at. But as I got sicker and sicker, particularly over the last 2 years, I had to face the question of whether I was physically and mentally able to continue to work in childcare. And at about just before Christmas time, I'd been going through a really rough stage for a few months before that, with just having lost all my sense of purpose and what I wanted to do with life and all of those sort of things, which was really hard. But a lot of my other lifetime goals were seeming absolutely impossible, and that was the last one that I had a hold of, and I wanted to keep a hold of it. And like I said at the beginning of the video, like, there didn't seem to be much awareness or support or anything out there for the chronically ill. And I tried joining some groups on Facebook, I tried finding support groups online. I tried just finding out as much information as I could about chronic illnesses, because I really had no clue, and I wanted to understand my situation better so that I can move forward in a productive way rather than just wallowing in my self-pity of everything that could have and won't be and all of that sort of stuff. And I decided then that this is something that I wanted to do. I'd realized that there wasn't enough out there in way of knowledge and support for those who are chronically ill and mentally ill. Like, we've come a long way with that, but there's still so much further to go. And I wanted to help create a safe place for people to go to get support and vent and ask advice and all of that sort of stuff. And I wanted to spread awareness for people who don't know what chronic illnesses are, so that they can be more understanding of the other people in the world that are suffering and not be so insensitive to their struggles, and make it just the world more accepting of chronic illnesses and those who are suffering with them. So I started with creating a Facebook page for the chronically ill called Chronically Me, and it's still a pretty small group, but I am so incredibly proud of that group. It is, I swear, it's all girls at the moment, and I swear I somehow have got so incredibly lucky with the most incredible bunch of girls. They have not only helped each other so much, but they have helped me so much with any questions I have, with any advice I need, with when I need to vent. And they're always sharing awesome memes that just like describe our lives so perfectly. And I am just blown away that this little idea has turned into something so incredible and so helpful for others out there. And just, it's like a little family, and I can't even describe how thankful I am for each and every single one of those girls, because they are all so incredible and they're dealing with so much, but they're still so incredible and so caring and compassionate to other people, and they're so willing to help or put a smile on someone's face or sending their love, and it just blows me away. And from that, I decided that I needed to do more. It felt so amazing that I was able to bring these girls together, and I wanted to do more. So I started up a blog. Or well, I had decided I wanted to make a YouTube channel, and then I got really nervous and I thought I wouldn't be able to record anything because my nerves and anxiety would get the best of me, and I just felt like I couldn't do it. So then I set up a blog because I love writing as well, and I started posting on there. I've been a bit neglectful towards it. I haven't had the time to sit and write out posts as much as I'd like to. It takes time, and then once you've because brain farts are real, and I want to get the wording right, and I want to explain it properly, and it just takes a lot more time. And then I thought I was doing quite well with it, and I thought I want to do more still. So I thought I'm going to give YouTube a try again, and I'm actually really enjoying it so far. Even if only one or two people see these videos and it helps them, then my job is done. That's all I want from this, is that I want somebody, even just one person, to feel like they're not alone, that there's somebody who understands, and that they have support there, and they have somewhere to go to feel understood. And also, if it helps one person understand who isn't in this situation, they might know somebody, or they might not know about chronic illness at all, but it helps them understand and be more understanding and compassionate to those who are affected, then my life is complete. My goals are done. Although, like, I can die happy right now because I am so incredibly blown away by Chronically Me and every one of those girls, and that has just been so incredible to watch one of my dreams actually come to life before me on a screen, and have people engaging in it and telling me how much it's helped them already, and that they are so appreciative of it, because I am so appreciative of it. So if you did like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and let me know.
I do this every time. Let me know in the comments below
What you thought of this, if some of these things have happened with you in your chronic illness journey, that you've found a better understanding, or you've changed in certain ways, or whatever. Let me know if you aren't suffering from chronic illness, but this has helped you understand a little bit better. And if you want to, you can go check out Chronically Me. I'll link it in the description below. And trust me, these girls are incredible, a great support system, and they have helped me out so much. So if you're looking for support, then they're the ones to go to. Also, don't forget to press that subscribe button, and I will see you on Sunday for another story time. Bye.